What's up, guys? Brian here, Brian's Law Maintenance. Hey, welcome to the jungle. I want to talk to you guys for just a couple quick minutes here. A little inspired conversation. Just got up from a really good nap, 2.5 hour powwow nap from plowing snow from 3 in the morning till 7 a.m. And then got some Chick-fil-A for lunch like at 10 o'clock and took a couple hour nap, and here I am. But one thing I wanted to just talk to you guys for just a few minutes here is something that's been on my mind that I wanted to talk about for a while, and that's the topic of progress over perfection. And it really stemmed from a conversation I had from one of you guys with a coaching call here just last week. I'm not gonna say the guy's name. I don't wanna embarrass him or reveal him or anything like that, but it was just a really, really honest, fun call. And it's something that I've seen kind of permeate through a lot of us as small business owners. And that's like the compare game. That's the perfection game. That's the, man, I wish I was so much further along game than where you actually are. And for any of you guys that are new to the channel that don't know my startup story, I can relate. I grew up broke, poor, in a double wide trailer with no cash flow, no assets, no education really. I didn't know how to run a business. And we've been in business, can you believe it now, for 15 years. This is our 15th season in business. It's remarkable, really. So I know what it's like to want to have a $100,000 a year business, or a couple $100,000 a year business, and a $1 million business, or having a $5, $10, $20 million business, right? And you're always motivated to grow. You're always motivated to want more. You're always motivated to want the next thing. But sometimes you compare what you have or don't have to what other people have or don't have. And this whole coaching call that we did, great young guy. I mean, honestly, it was a really good powwow. We just were peeling back layers of the onion, and the more we got a little bit deeper, the more he opened up. The more he opened up, the more we were able to do some brain surgery. And he was so driven by the fact that it's his third year in business, and he's doing more revenue year 3 over year 2, more revenue over year 2 over year 1. So it's boom, 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 right? He's making progress, but he was really frustrated that he didn't have it all figured out. He's like, we're not grossing over 100 grand just yet. I'm trying to hire my first guy. I just hired a CPA. And I said, whoa. And he was like frustrated that he wasn't successful. And I said, well, dude, come on. You got to look at things in a realistic view and vantage point, which is you're making progress every single year. And that's what matters. A lot of you guys know my story. Like, my first 10 years in business were not really anything to write home about. In fact, 2 years after I met my friend Mike Bedell, my business started finally creeping up and inking forward. And this last 24 or so months, we've made more money and had more fun with our lawn and landscape company than ever before. But one thing that always kind of drove me, and this is just, I guess, my quick tip of the day, is I never was really trying to look left or right, play the compare game, look what this guy's doing versus what this guy's not doing. I mean, let's be honest with you, we're all susceptible to it. Man, I want that guy's truck. Man, I want that guy's mower. Man, I want that guy's life. But the reality is that if you look for progress every day, I think that's where you're gonna find joy in your business and what you're trying to do. For example, on this call, I said, well, how's your billing? And he was invoicing, and I said, well, let's move the charge cards on files and just get 1% better. And I said, how's your workflow? Like, are you getting done every day at 3, 4, 5 o'clock? You getting done every day at 9, 10 p.m. and missing family time? And he was doing the latter. And I said, well, let's hire a guy this year, work him 10, 20, 30 hours a week, and just bring that hours down, maybe make it a little bit more profit per man hour, because you're got an employee that you're paying this and you're billing out for that, right? And I said, let's just make some progress there. So let's make some progress on our invoicing. Let's make some progress on our labor and hiring people. And then I also said, let's talk about our pricing for our lawns. He was down south, and he was getting a fair price for a lot of his lawns, but he had a lot of bi-weeklies. And I said, well, let's move from bi-weeklies to weeklies, and then let's raise those rates 5, 10%, right? $1, $2, $5 a week, nothing crazy. And here's my point. When you take progress over his billing, progress over hiring some folks, progress over his rates, boom, boom, boom. These little things are incremental, but when you add them together, they compound to a much better business, a much better life. So what's the point of this video really quick here is just to give you guys some encouragement that to stop playing the compare game. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to the next lawn care YouTuber. Don't compare yourself to the big guy in town. Compare yourself to yourself. Compare yourself to yourself last week, last month, last year. That's what always keeps me motivated. In fact, looking where I came back from 15 years ago, the highest person income earner wise, I should say, whatever you want to call it, in my family was like $30,000 a year. Like, that's not a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money either. It's hard to make a good living or lifestyle on $30,000 a year, right? Right or wrong. But the reality is that fast forward 10, 15 years later, we're making more than that. And it's progress. And so I could say, well, I'm not making $1 million, and it steals my joy because I'm comparing against something that is hard to be attained, right? Only like 1% of people are millionaires or whatever, right? So I'm not saying don't be hungry for that, but compared to the same time last year, Liz and I have more income, less debt, better business, better employees. Like, the business is more robust. And I guess the simple point is, when you're aiming for perfection, it's almost elusive, it's esoteric, so you're chasing something that's not really attainable, right? I mean, trust me, I'm always chasing excellence, but not perfection. And so here's my quick suggestion, because I see a lot of this permeating through YouTube, the lawn care community, just people in general, coaching calls. I don't know, maybe it's just this time of year, so many people are cooped up inside and just ready to get on out there and crush it with their season, right? I mean, raise your hand if that's you, because that's me. But right now, or even into this year, here's my prayer for you guys. Look for progress. Find little things every day you can change about your business, change about your life, change about your billing, change about your invoicing, change about your route, change about your marketing. I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of like I don't know if it's a curse, but it's a detriment of mine is that I'm always seeking excellence and my brain just won't turn off, right? I don't sleep that much. I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. Sometimes I take like an hour nap in the afternoon, I crash, but then I'm back up and I'm ready to rock and roll. And I'm like, even for myself, I'm always chasing excellence and progress. And here's a cool thing. Here's the last quick tip I'll give you. If you're starting this train of this process, here's something that worked for me. Take it or leave it, something that worked for me, is find these little wins and help them start gaining momentum. That's it. Find a little win, reinforce that win with another small win, or with another small win, with another small win. And that's how you gain momentum or this progress in your life where things just kind of start morphing around you, changing around you. The universe conspires to work with you and for you. That was my life story. I couldn't go from a $50,000 a year business 5 years ago to a $200,000 a year business 5 years later, a couple years later, just overnight. Like, my brain, my self-image, my business knowledge, my ability to manage money, my ability to manage people, it just wasn't gonna happen, right? But I could go from 50 to 60, 60 to 75, 75 to, I think 3 years ago, we went from like 75,000 to like 125,000 in 1 year. You're like, well, there's two options out there. One, you're like, that's all Brian's Lawn Maintenance makes? Yeah, dude, we have a $200,000 a year business, like nothing crazy. We're honest, we're humble about it. I don't try to like give out $1 million advice. We don't do that. But I will say, like, my income, my gross revenue, like, went up 20, 30, 50%. That's a lot of money. That was a lot of money to me. It's still a lot of money. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. Like, I don't get lost in all these numbers that a lot of folks talk about. But for me, it was progress. For me, I said, well, I can just keep not only getting back to that number the following year, but trying to grow at 10%, try to grow at 20%. So anyway, what am I trying to say? Stop trying to chase perfection. Stop trying to play the compare game. If you're just picking up a BR600 or a BR800 backpack blower and it's $500, $600, and it's like the biggest investment you've ever made in your business, that's freaking awesome. Like, I know we all get lost in like the videos and the gurus, and it's a lot of noise, right? But the reality is that look for progress. Look for those small gains, those small wins, and stop playing the compare game. Don't look left, don't look right. Maybe ask some people for some help, some guidance, some wisdom, some perspective. That's always helpful. That's been my life story with all of you guys on this YouTube channel the last 4 or 5 years. But the reality is that playing the comparison game is going to steal your joy. right? So this quick, upbeat, motivational message here brought to you by Brian's Law Maintenance is just seek progress over perfection. And if somebody else has coined that term before, awesome. It's not like I'm trying to come up with this awesome esoteric thought of my own. By all means, that's not the case. I think I learned that from John Maxwell was just seek daily improvement. Just try to get 1% better every single day. It's you versus you. I think somebody else has that on a shirt. It's not you versus everybody. What? No way. I'm not trying to beat everybody. I'm trying to beat the lazy self Brian, the self-flesh Brian that just wants to eat Cheetos and drink Mountain Dew every day. No, I got to put one foot in front of the other because I have obligations. I have commitments. I want to take care of my wife. I want to take care of my mom. I want to help a lot of you guys out, right? So that's I do a lot of what I do. It's really others focused if you can't tell. So any which way, that's my quick thought for the day. 11 minutes to say, stop playing the compare game. Stop trying to look left. Stop trying to look right. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Worry about you. Worry about you and just be encouraged to know that every single day you're working towards progress. Sometimes you have big wins and you make big leaps and big gains. And other days you make little progress gains, little wins. But it all adds up. It all adds up. You stitch that together and in just a couple years you can have some really great momentum in your life. All right? So that's my great video for you guys today. Great being a relatively loose term because I don't know how this video is going to do. But frankly, if it gets 1,000 views or 20,000 views, who really cares? The reality is that I just want to see you guys grow. I want to see you guys win. I know you're so cooped up right now and ready to go on out there and start crushing with your business. So many of you guys are dealing with snow. Some of you guys are dealing with rain. We got another 4, 6, 8 weeks and most of us will all be out there cutting grass and making that cash. So at the end of the day, I just want to tell you guys, I've seen the pulse out there with a lot of folks. You guys get frustrated. A lot of folks get, a lot of guys get internally, right? And I don't know what this means, but you're like, well, the other guy's crushing it. The other guy's winning. Hey, the other guy, he's just as crazy as you are because he's thinking the exact same thoughts you are about being crazy, about comparing himself to you. And he's comparing to you and you're comparing to him and you're both crazy. And so how insane does that sound, right? So every single day, just look for progress. Every single day, look for those little wins. And I think if you bundle up enough of those over the next couple weeks, couple months, couple years, your life can be transformatively different. So that's my encouraging word for you guys today. All right. God bless you guys. Go have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. And we'll catch up with you guys here on the next one.